look at how you can insert diacritics. Let's go down to insert. I talked to my screen. And see, you can't see the one I had up there before. This is where the Windows comes in handy. You can either close this one to find the other one, or right now it tells me what's behind it. I've got, well, it tells me what's up here. I've got modified title. If I want to bring that one up, I can. That's a new feature in the version that you would pull onto your system right now. You don't have this little bit here, but you have these other elements you can tile or cascade. So this is a new feature that's actually pretty cool. What I want to do for right now, though, is go ahead and close that and do my search. And I'm going to do a subject search on resumes and edit a record. Because I'm on the test server, we don't need to be worried about my changing anybody's record. Modify this. It's a little slow.
All right, give it a shot.
Okay, we already have 2 of these on here, but we're going to add a 3rd one because I forgot to erase the one I created yesterday. I can add a line here. What I did was just went down to where I wanted to be and clicked on it, and it gave me a little box. If you're editing, one of the things you may notice that you don't have in the C client is that your cursor is always at the end of the line. In the C client, it's always at the beginning of the line. So if you want to move it, you can, tab backwards, or I just put my my mouse where I want to add something, and I click, and it puts my cursor there. So then I can type wherever I want to be. What I actually want to do is add another tag. What I can do is come up here and look at these, and it'll tell me where to insert the field. This is before, this one's after, and this one actually deletes. These two look a little similar to me, so I actually prefer to come down here and right-click, and I get the same elements that tell me. And this is, I think, much more straightforward. So I'm going to add my field after the current one, and I identify it as a 650. I tab over, maybe. There we go. And this is the second indicator, so I just hit the space bar and I'll type in my 0. And now I'm going to type in my resume. But I want to add my diacritics. So what I do here, and this looks very awkward right now because we're just kind of showing you how to do it. Once you get proficient at this, it goes much more quickly. I can come up to my tools, and the trick here is knowing where your acute E is, because some of them look kind of similar. And it's actually right here. When I put my cursor over it, it's going to tell me eventually that's what it is, E with an acute. That's the one you want to pick, because if you pick some of these others that look similar, like there's one down here that looks like an E with an acute, but it's actually got something below it. If you use that one, it'll give you an unauthorized reference for that tag because it's not the correct character. This is actually an improvement over what we have for diacritics, but they've improved it a little bit more for GL 3.21. So they're constantly making it better. And here it is. And I can either just insert it or I can insert and close. So let's do that. And it pops it in for me. And then I would do it again. So where you want it, right before you type it, you can go ahead and pick it again, or however works best for you. And there you are. You can go ahead and save it. And it comes back unauthorized immediately. Now, of course, the reason it's done that is because I've left off the word employment. So, despite the fact that I'm being entirely too redundant here with this on here 3 times, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And it comes back. And now I can either just insert it or I can insert and close. So let's do that. And it pops it in for me. rest will go away immediately unless I misspelled something. And there you go. So to get rid of these, I can either come up here and use this guy, or again, I can right-click on the line I want to get rid of and say delete field, and it'll get rid of it for me. And then I save it again. Okay. If I weren't to save, if I didn't save it, it would come back with a little screen here that says you've made changes. Do you want to save? Okay. So we've done all that. We've talked a little bit about Windows. Help. If I call you, if you start using this a lot, and you call me saying that you have a problem, if I'm not understanding what version you're using and you aren't real sure which version you are using, come down here to About and click on that and tell me what's in this screen. If you have this picture in the background and if you can describe this top part to me, I'll know what you're using. The difference is if you did that over here, this is what you would get. It's not a pretty screen, so if you just tell me you got a pretty screen with colored things on it, I'll know. I got the pretty screen. Okay, you're using the job. Okay, let's go back to this one. And we are in the cataloging toolbar. We talked about that. Some of the properties on these, I added the checkout here, but your standard wizard, your common tasks are only going to be the ones below that. You should have those in your cataloging common tasks toolbar. What I'm looking at right now are the properties for call number and item maintenance. One of the differences in the Java client is that you now can do call number and item maintenance at the same point. This actually takes place, replaces this set of wizards. So you don't have to do an add and edit with two separate wizards, you do it with one. And it's this one.
Can you show us that? Because I haven't figured out how to do this thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding. If I'm going to...
We'll do one.
Okay.
Okay.
This is much more awkward than it is in the...
Okay.
Let's see.
One of the things here that I just want to point out, there are several wizards that have this option, this edit display option. I like the descriptive view instead of the mark view, and I will show you why. Those are two of the elements that are different or new here. The rest of this is pretty standard stuff. Behavior, I have mine set so that everything is filled in here. I want to auto-generate a temporary call number when I'm adding something, and I want to auto-generate an item ID. And then if I get pulled away and I need to go back in, all I have to do is do a call number search on my XX call numbers and bring it right up. I know exactly what it was if I don't get back to it for 2 days. I don't have to remember, oh, I think I added a 0 to that call number. So it's just how I choose to make it work better for me. Here's where you set the options so that you can delete items and call numbers from this wizard. So now you can delete from this wizard. And if you have to delete a title, you can come down and use this wizard that we have been having to use all along. You can still delete items and call numbers from this one, but you don't have to use it for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the resume. Why screw up any more than I have to? Added this one yesterday. So what I'm going to do is add another copy to Uentus. So I just say add item, and it gives it to me, to my existing call number. Because I've already said give me an item ID, an auto-generated ID, it pops it in here for me right now. I can scan over this then and put in my valid.